What's up, all you legends? Welcome back to part 14 of our Pokemon Dark Worship walkthrough. In the previous video, we took on Gym Leader Leviathan, the Dragon-type Gym Leader. We earned another gym badge. We also took the ferry boat to Otomai Island, where we went after the Dark Worship leader Isaac, and we found some ancient, historic tomb that had something to do with Zygarde, but then we couldn't find Dark Worship leader Isaac, so we returned back. And now we've returned back to a different city, and we've just unlocked Rock Smash. So we can now go north of the city, and there are a whole bunch of new Pokemon we can catch in this region. And in this game, Pokemon Dark Worship, we don't use Rock Smash. We unlocked an item called Crazy Mace, which is pretty much the same as Rock Smash. But in this game, they've given the HMs basically items to replace the moves. And now we've just made it to the Hero Cemetery, so this looks pretty spooky. We're going to explore a little here and find out if there's anything for us to do here. And you can also find some cool Pokemon in the area. We are battling one or two trainers here that are looking for a fight, and we just picked up a spooky plate. Okay, that looks like blue, if I'm not mistaken, so I first want to just explore around the cemetery and pick up any items before we go and chat to Blue. I'm not sure if we are going to have to battle him or not, but we'll save that for the end. And here we've reached a man who's got a little side quest for us, and he's looking for a Ghastly. If you do bring him a Ghastly, he'll give you a reward. So I will be sure to do that. I'll go catch a Ghastly and bring it to him and see what reward we'll get. I think you can find Ghastly in the Lavender Tower. And we just used our Rock Climb ability, and, well, in this game it's called Crazy Climber, if I have to be specific. And I picked up some cool items. Now, I think we have cleared everything in the cemetery. We can go and chat to Blue and see if he's down for a battle. Flips, is that you? I thought you were one of those Dark Worship members. What happened? So you didn't know? I'll tell you about it. I'd caught an Eevee, and I was training it to evolve. And then two of the Dark Worship member attacked it and used poison, and my Eevee got really sick. And I ran to the Pokemon Center, but my Eevee did not make it. And that's why Blue is here in the cemetery. So his Eevee passed away, which is really sad. And that's why Blue really hates the Dark Worship members, because they killed his Eevee. So that's a pretty dark story. But now he tells us that we should go back to Professor Yami's laboratory, and I believe that was pretty much around the same area where we started the whole game. So I'm just gonna check the town map and see where's the closest region we can teleport to. I believe it's Coral City here. And then from Coral City, we've got to go southwest, and we should be able to reach the point where we started the game. So here we are in Casper Town. This is where our whole journey began. I've just cut through to save a bit of time. And here we are chatting with Professor Yami, and Blue is also caught up with us. Professor Yami tells us that we're all in serious trouble and something terrible has happened. Isaac, the Dark Worship leader, has captured some sacred Pokemon. And this is bad news because it's a pretty strong Pokemon. And the professor wants us to try use Zygarde, which is just as strong as the sacred Pokemon that Isaac has. So Professor Yami does have an egg, and it should hatch into a Zygarde. And because Isaac has caught Xerneas and Yveltal, Zygarde should be able to put up a good fight against those two sacred Pokemon. And if you remember earlier on in the game, Morgan gave us a special egg to protect that the Dark Worship were trying to steal from him. If you hatch that egg, you'll get a little baby Zygarde, and then bring it back to Professor Yami, and he will give us a Z-Cube. And he tells us that we need to collect Zygarde cells in order to change its form. It will first change when we collect 5 Zygarde cells, and it will change form again when we have 10 Zygarde cells. So I think we need 15 Zygarde cells in total. Unfortunately, I don't have 5 Zygarde cells yet. I think I've only got about 3. But at least we've got Zygarde now. So if we do need to use him, he should be a strong asset to our team. But now, after all of that traveling, it was a bit of a long journey, going all the way back to where we started, and also to hatch the egg. It was quite a bit of admin and quite the journey, but there are some good things that came from it. I did catch some shiny Pokemon. As you guys can see, I have a level 16 Meowth, which is in a shiny form, so that's really cool. And while I was there, I did go back and catch a Jangmo, because I really wanted it in the beginning of the game, but it was so hard to encounter them. But now with the help of our Dex Nav, I caught a really strong one that I'm looking forward to training up. And you guys do know that in this city you can level up your Pokemon quite easily when you go and pay the guy in the science lab. He will train up your Pokemon and level them up. And there's a man in that city that gives you 10,000 Pokemon every day. So if you are not aware of that, go back and watch some of our older videos. But first I want to try level up Jangmo by itself and try get its EV points a bit higher. And once its EV points are almost maxed out, we'll go and level it up with that scientist man, or that man in the science lab. Okay, and looks like we've reached a new area here, Mystical Mountain. And it looks pretty cool. We'll see what Pokemon we can encounter here. Wow, okay, there's some really cool ones here. Pikachu even. And Togetic, Sliggoo. Wow, so we can catch a whole bunch of awesome Pokemon in this area. But otherwise, we're gonna just do a little bit of exploring and see if there's any more trainers to battle. I am really happy that I've got a Jangmo in my team now. When it evolves, I'll be really stoked. And here we can smash this little rock. And we picked up a Hyper Potion as well as TM64, which is Explosion. So we actually have collected quite a lot of TMs now. And it looks like we've reached a place where there's a police officer here. He warns us to be careful that there's criminals nearby. So that must mean that we're on the right path. And here we meet a guy who wants a whole bunch of mail and different items. And if you have those, he will give us a reward. Unfortunately, I don't have all of those types of mail, but we'll come back to him if we do. Now we've entered another little cave where there's a few other people for us to battle. We've picked up a mushroom, so that's pretty interesting. And it looks like we have reached an area where there's a Nurse Joy, so we can heal ourselves at least. And this might be a good opportunity to train up our Pokemon, because Nurse Joy is nearby. We can just constantly heal and revive any of our knocked out Pokemon. Before we continue that way, I just want to go north into this little cave. Looks like there's a fossil for us to pick up. So we got a bird fossil. And I'm not sure what that little section in the wall is. But that's interesting. We got a bird fossil. But now we'll continue south again. There's a couple trainers for us to battle. And we did pick up the soft sand hiding in that rock. And this guy tells us in order to evolve Feebas into Milotech, we've got to use that item. So when you talk to people, you can find out some valuable information in the game. And we just encountered Trainer Red, can you believe it? I wasn't prepared to battle him of all people, and he's super strong. His first Pokemon he sent out is a level 83 Snorlax. I love that Red uses the same team as he does in the cartoon anime. I have swapped out and brought in Silverly, which is now a ground type, and I'm hoping it can knock out Snorlax. Okay, we forced Trainer Red to use a full restore. If we can get him to use 2 or 3 full restores on Snorlax, at least he won't be able to use them later on when he sends out stronger Pokemon. So he's already used 2 full restores, and it looks like Silverly has knocked him out, so that's good news. Trainer Red's Pokemon are leveled up higher than mine, so I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. And the next Pokemon he sent out is a level 84 Blastoise, which just knocked out my Silverly. But now I'm going to send out Rillaboom, which is a grass-type Pokemon, so its attack should be super effective. And yes, we one-shot Blastoise. This just shows you the importance of typing and getting a type advantage in battle. And now, Trainer Red sent out Charizard, which has a type advantage against me, so I'm quickly going to swap out and bring in Dragonite. Dragonite's a lot stronger, and Red also swapped out and brought in Pikachu. So we are both trying to battle to get the type advantage here. And my Dragonite does know Surf, which is pretty effective. It's probably my weakest attack, but it did a lot of damage to Pikachu. We knocked out Pikachu and leveled up to level 80. And I did also catch a Magmar, which evolved into a Magmortar. So I'm slowly training that up as well. My team is going to be super strong once they're all leveled up and I've got their EVs trained properly. We still haven't reached a point where we can train up our EVs yet, but I'm hoping we can find something like that soon. And Trainer Red sent out a level 83 Sneasler, which was an Ice-type Pokemon, I believe Ice and Dark maybe. So I've brought out Graplock, which is level 79. And my Graplock is a fighting type, but it does have Surf, which is a water attack. So we're just going to keep surfing and hopefully do a bit of damage, or if we're lucky, knock it out. And we're just flinching every time. We flinched twice in a row due to Sneasler's attack, so that's not good at all. And my Jangmo isn't nowhere strong enough to battle in this battle, so we basically only got a team of 5 Pokemon. And my Magmortar isn't very strong either, it's only level 64. So honestly, we got about 4 Pokemon that we're challenging Trainer Red against, which has been super tough. We've had to revive Dragonite again, otherwise we really wouldn't stand a chance. And he sent out Charizard again. Luckily, Dragonite's got some effective attacks. If we can survive, we should do a bit of damage. And yes, Thunder takes out 3/4 of Charizard's HP. We survived, but we got confused. If we can get this attack in, we should knock out Charizard. And we do. We clear out Charizard with a Surf. And it's down to Trainer Red's final Pokemon. This battle has been super tough just because I wasn't prepared or ready for it. It just happened out of the blue. And Red's final Pokemon is a Mega Venusaur, level 84. We should be able to take it out. My Dragonite's caused a little bit of damage, but we still have Rillaboom. And my 2 Pokemon that are still in training, I don't think they'll be much help, but my Magmar is a fire type, so if he manages to stay alive and get an attack in, he might cause a little bit of damage. And our Rillaboom gets knocked out. I thought Rillaboom was gonna take out Venusaur. Okay, this isn't good. It's down to Magmortar. Magmortar, if you can survive an attack or attack first, please do a lot of damage. I think we should just revive Dragonite in case. Otherwise, we're gonna be in real trouble. And yes, he knocks out our Magmortar in one shot. I was expecting that. And Dragonite, you need to attack first now or we're in trouble. We're gonna try Ice Beam. And it's super effective, but not enough to knock it out. And we hang in there with 5 health. We've got to attack first. We use Dragon Pulse, and we defeat Trainer Red. What a battle. This was super tough, one of the toughest battles we've had in the game so far. And in Trainer Red style, he doesn't say anything, he just ran off. And we've made it out the cave to Route 18. And here we can encounter Heracross, Clefable, Braviary, some really cool Pokemon. So wow, I wasn't expecting to battle Trainer Red, but what a battle it was. We're going to explore Route 18 a little bit, and then hopefully we will reach the next town. I think the next town is Rango or called something like that. And I believe that's where the final gym leader might be. So if we can reach that town in this video, that will be awesome. And there's another Snorlax sleeping here. I believe in order to wake up the Snorlax, you've got to give it some honey, which you can get from Combee, so like bee-type Pokemon. If you can get some honey from that Pokemon, if you catch them or use Thief to steal the honey, I believe that wakes up Snorlax. I haven't woken any of them up yet, but I will probably be doing it in a future video. And here we've surfed across. There's a little island, but there's not much there for us. Just a couple trainers for us to battle. But like I said, there were some cool Pokemon here to catch. And we've made it up and down this little hill. And yes, we've made it to Rango City. So in the next video, we'll be exploring here a lot more. So stay tuned for that.